Crazy. Bro, they are, right? Yeah.
Lolly over like a freak.
Hey team, welcome back to Muddy Feet. On today's mission, I'm going to be checking out a brand new part of a really cool harbour where I like to hang out quite a bit when I'm in the far north. Now, one thing I like to do when I go and gather Pacific oysters is I like to take a lemon with me and have a bit of a taste test while I'm down there on the mission. And today I'm also going to be having a bit of a catch and cook afterwards. I guess you can't maybe call it a catch and cook because you don't have to catch them too much, but anyway, hang around for that if you'd like to. In the region where I am, the daily bag limit for Pacific oysters is a crazy 250. I think I've touched on this before, but there should probably never really be any need to take that many. I suppose, unless there's a death in the family or something along those lines. But for me today, anyway, I'll just be taking a little bucket full, which amounts up to about 50 or 60. But enough for a couple of good feeds for me and to share some out with some friends and family.
Right, just pop on me oyster shoes. Save me getting any cuts. Pretty damn sharp, the old oyster rocks.
Alright, let's go get a feed of oysters. There's two main sorts of oysters in the North Island of New Zealand, and those are rock oysters and Pacific oysters. These fellas here, quite high up the tide line with thick dark shell, are the rock oysters, and although they are edible, they don't get as big and they're not quite as tasty. The ones that we're looking for today are Pacific oysters, and we're going to find those a little bit lower down the tide line, closer to that low tide mark, and they've got a more brittle shell with a little bit more purpley colour mixed in, and they get quite a lot larger. Quite a beautiful place to be. Not half bad. When I'm out getting myself a feed of Pacific oysters, I do like to use a glove just because the oysters are really sharp, and the chances are if you slip, you're probably going to do yourself a mischief. I also use this awesome little shelling knife. It's a nice blunt knife, and it's a really strong little blade, so it's really good for weaseling underneath those oysters and popping them off the rock. As well as that, it is an opening knife, so it's the perfect knife for popping a few open so I can have a bit of a sample.
Number one.
My technique for getting the oysters off the rock is pretty straightforward. I just look for a little weak spot where I can weasel the tip of the blade underneath the shell, and wriggling it from side to side, I'm able to pop them off the rocks. They quite often come off in clumps, like here I've got two quite good sized ones. Just give them a bit of a tap to split them apart, and boom, in the bucket.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I'm not going to bang on about nutritional value, but these guys are pretty good for you, and more importantly, they're absolutely delicious. And if you have a bit of a look around in the north, I think you'll find what I've found, which is they're truly abundant. So they're a pretty damn good food source.
Those are beautiful. Look at them all. Absolute stunners.
People in therapy are often therapy. Meet people in their lives who won't go to therapy. I have a job, it's actually quite fulfilling. Throw my headline standing. I barely do anything else. I read several books. I do meditation. Walks in the woods. A new destination. I sit with my feelings. Sometimes I'm even journaling. I got a full-time job, though no one pays me, and it's all thanks to you. Some days I wish I had a relationship status. Then I remember last time I ain't got time for that. I have a job, it's actually quite fulfilling. Though my hairline is thinning, I barely do anything else. I read several.
Oh well, that's what I would call a pretty damn successful oyster mission. I've got a mean feed of beautiful Pacific oysters. I've had a pretty good taste test down at the shore. Now I'm just making my way back to the truck, and I'm going to head down the beach somewhere and do a bit of a catch and cook, I think. Do a few oysters on the barbecue maybe. See how we get on.
Walks in the woods, a new destination.
Right, back to the truck we go. Just up the track.
Sometimes I'm even journaling. I got a full-time job, though no one pays me, and it's all thanks to you.
Mean mission. Whew, good to be back at the truck though.
My friends say
It was only a short drive down to this beautiful little spot here where I intended to cook myself a bit of a feed. I got there, fired up my barbecue, and I bumped into this friendly local fella. He watches a few of my videos, so I invited him to join me for a bit of a munch.
I read several
Yeah, that one's good.
Simple but effective, eh, cuz?
Well, yeah, bro. Oh, finger tongs. They work too. Simple but effective, bro.
Sometimes I'm even journaling.
Ah, those ones won't be far away either. Then they look beautiful.
And it's all thanks to you.
It's a good sausage, man. That Cable Bay butcher does well. Not too bad, eh, brother?
Beautiful, bro. Beautiful.
Certainly can't complain with those fat far north oysters. Hey, brother. Oh, well, nice to meet you, bro.
Yeah, bro, you too, brother. Thank you very much.
All good, bro. You're welcome. Cheers for joining me for a kai, brother. All good. Pretty awesome to meet a friendly local guy like that and have him join me for a bit of a feed. Always nice to meet a local, and just a pretty cool way to end a pretty cool mission. I hope all you legends at home enjoy this episode, and as always, thank you for watching. Ciao, bro.